Something happened 3 seconds before you clicked on this video. Your hand moved. Your eyes stopped. Out of everything competing for your attention in that moment, this found you. And I want you to think about that, not as a small thing, but as the first sign that what I'm about to tell you is already in motion. You have been feeling something lately that you cannot explain to anyone. Not because you lack the words, but because the feeling itself does not belong to ordinary language. It sits in your chest like a quiet certainty. It wakes you at odd hours, not with anxiety, but with a strange sense of expectation. Something is approaching your life, not someday, not eventually, now. And the part of you that knows things before your mind catches up has already recognized it. This is not a video about wishing. This is not about vision boards or positive thinking or repeating affirmations until you believe them. What I am about to share with you operates on a completely different level, because what is coming toward you right now is not something you manifested by wanting it hard enough. It is something that became possible because of who you quietly became when no one was watching. Let me tell you what I mean. There is a version of you from 2 years ago. Think about that person honestly. What they would accept, what they would tolerate, the kind of conversations they stayed in too long, the relationships they held onto past every sign that said let go, the dreams they kept small because the world around them kept confirming that small was safer. That version of you was not weak. That version of you was surviving. But surviving and being ready are two completely different states of existence. And somewhere between then and now, without a dramatic announcement, without a ceremony, without even fully realizing it was happening, you crossed a line. You stopped surviving and started becoming. And becoming changes everything about what is allowed to enter your life. The universe, or whatever name you give to the intelligence that organizes the patterns behind this life, does not respond to desperation. It does not reward longing. It responds to resonance. And resonance is not about vibrating at some mystical frequency that requires years of meditation. Resonance is simply this. When you are on the inside finally matches what you say you want on the outside, reality has no choice but to reorganize around that match. You have been doing that work, quietly, privately, in the moments no one saw, in the decision to walk away from something comfortable that was slowly making you smaller, in the night you chose your own peace over a conversation that would have cost you your dignity, in the morning you woke up and decided to stop waiting for permission to live the life you actually wanted. Those moments sent signals, and signals travel. Right now, there is someone who has been thinking about you, not casually, not in passing, deeply. They are holding a memory of you like something they cannot quite put down. Maybe it is something you said months ago that landed differently than you realized. Maybe it is the way you handled something difficult and they noticed even though you thought no one was watching. Maybe they have seen you from a distance and felt something they could not name. You may know exactly who this is, or they may be someone you have not met yet. Either way, the pull between your energy and theirs has been building quietly, the way water builds behind a dam until the moment when it simply moves. And the interesting thing is this, the path that brings you to that moment is already being laid, not by coincidence, by design. That appointment last week that got rescheduled, the route you took on impulse and had never taken before, the invitation you almost declined but then something in you said yes, none of that was accidental. You were being repositioned, moved into coordinates in time and space that create the conditions for what is about to happen. The universe cannot deliver what you are aligned for if you stay in the exact same places, seeing the exact same people, following the exact same patterns. So it nudges, it shifts, it closes one door so that when the right one opens, you are standing close enough to walk through it. Here is what I want you to pay close attention to in the coming days. The small things. A song that plays at a moment when you needed to hear exactly those words. A conversation with a stranger that lingers in your mind long after it should have faded. Seeing the same number repeatedly, not once, not twice, but in a pattern that is too consistent to be random. These are not superstitions. They are confirmations. Your awareness is sharpening because it is being prepared for something that requires you to be more present than usual. Your subconscious is already reading the room. It knows something is close, and it is tuning your attention so that when the moment arrives, you do not miss it. The encounter itself will probably not look the way you imagined it would. There will be no dramatic music, no perfectly cinematic lighting. It might begin in a completely ordinary place. A coffee shop where you sat down 5 minutes later than you planned. A work meeting where one person catches your attention in a way that surprises you. A social event you attended out of obligation rather than enthusiasm. The ordinariness of the setting is what makes it extraordinary, because the most significant things in a human life almost always begin in the most unremarkable circumstances. And it is only when you look back that you understand how carefully that ordinary moment was arranged. When it happens, you will feel something in your body before your mind has processed anything. Not butterflies, not the nervous, anxious feeling of someone you are trying to impress. Something quieter and more solid than that. A recognition, like a sound you forgot you had been missing until it plays again. Your shoulders will relax slightly, your breathing will even out. You will feel, without being able to explain it logically, like you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That physical calm is the signal. That ease is the confirmation, because real alignment does not feel like chaos. It feels like arriving, and this is important. This encounter is not limited to romance. Do not narrow your attention to only one possibility. What is moving toward you could be a friendship so deep it redefines what you thought friendship meant. It could be a mentor whose single conversation changes the entire direction of your professional life. It could be a creative collaboration that unlocks something in you that has never had the right environment to grow. It could be a moment of recognition with someone who simply sees you clearly at a time when you needed to be seen. The category does not determine the value. The depth of the recognition does, and the depth of what is coming toward you is significant. You should also know this. There is a chance you have already briefly encountered this person, and neither of you was ready for what it actually was. A party, months ago. Someone you see regularly but have never moved past surface conversation with. A name that has come up more than once in different contexts. The timing was not right before, but you have both been changing. You have been doing your internal work, and so have they. What could not happen before can happen now, because both of you have become the version of yourselves that can actually hold what this connection is meant to be. Watch for the unexpected invitation. Someone will suggest something slightly out of your routine, an event, a gathering, a spontaneous plan. Something that your logical mind will want to decline because it is inconvenient or unfamiliar or not quite your usual scene. This is exactly the invitation you need to say yes to. The encounters that change your life are almost never waiting for you inside your comfort zone. They are just outside it, in the space created by a small, slightly uncomfortable yes. The universe cannot rearrange your circumstances if you refuse to move. Now I want to address something directly, because if you are being honest with yourself, there is a part of you that wants to believe this, but is also afraid to. You have hoped before. You have felt this kind of anticipation before, and sometimes it led somewhere, and sometimes it quietly dissolved and left you feeling foolish for believing. I understand that. That caution is not weakness. It is intelligence built from real experience. But I want you to consider something. Every time you chose to stay open despite that caution, something was possible. Every time you closed completely to protect yourself, you were also closing yourself to what could have been extraordinary. The risk of staying open is real, but the cost of staying closed is greater. You have not come this far and done this much internal work to arrive at the edge of something significant, and then step back because it feels too good to be true. Your capacity to receive has changed. You are not the same person who would have gotten this encounter and self-sabotaged it. You have done the work that makes you someone who can recognize this, meet it, and stay steady inside it. That is what all of it was for. The healing, the letting go, the rebuilding. It was not just healing for healing's sake. It was preparation, and the preparation is complete. So here is what I am asking you to do in the next few days. Stay out of your patterns slightly. Take a different route somewhere. Say yes to one thing you would normally decline. Put the phone down in a public space and actually look up. Be in the room you are in. The encounter you are moving toward requires your presence, not your distraction. It will arrive in a real moment, in real space, and you need to be actually available for it. When it happens, do not overthink it. Do not perform. Do not try to present the most impressive version of yourself. The person or opportunity moving toward you is not aligned with your performance. They are aligned with your authenticity. The work you have done has made your authentic self genuinely magnetic. Trust that. Show up as you actually are and let the recognition happen naturally. The universe has not forgotten about you. That is the most important thing I can leave you with. In all the confusion and the waiting and the moments where it felt like nothing was moving, something was always moving. Behind the scenes, beneath the surface, in dimensions of cause and effect that the human eye cannot track, things were being arranged, people were being prepared, circumstances were being lined up, and now you are approaching the moment where all of that invisible arrangement becomes visible. The encounter is not somewhere far in your future, it is at the edge of your present, closer than you think, closer than it feels. And when it arrives, you will not need anyone to tell you it is significant. You will know it in the way your body settles, in the way conversation flows without effort, in the quiet certainty that something just changed. You were never behind. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared for exactly this. Now tell me, what has been showing up repeatedly in your life lately that you cannot fully explain? A number, a name, a feeling, a place. Drop it below, because I genuinely want to know what the universe has been using to get your attention.